Doing there with Rampage Pro Wrestling, and our feature match is coming up. A young man who said he wants a title match with the RPW heavyweight champion Jeremy Vane. Kyle Matthews has said that on many occasions. He deserves that title. We think he does too. Well, he's going to have to prove himself, according to Jeremy Vane and Charlie Cash, by beating not one, but both members of the Cash Ball.
Introducing first, he is
and
from Haddonfield, Illinois,
Bobby Moore's on his way out.
225
very different way
pounds.
to carry a
He is
title
accompanied to the ring by Charlie Cash.
And we all know the only match that's been made for this time for Kyle Matthews is with Bobby Moore, but you're correct. The statement was made by Jerry Vane. He has to go through the cash fold, and you're also correct. The cash fold is not one, but several people.
Charlie Cash looks like he's several people by himself.
Very true. But he's eating for two.
Here's a great chef. Apparently he enjoys his own food.
Actually, he is.
No one would appreciate food more than Charlie Cash. And Bobby Moore not happy with the fans that have shown up here at Rampage Pro Wrestling. Imagine that. Fans, you can be one of those fans that he's not happy with. Join us live on Sunday, February 26th at 3 p.m. and he's having to contain Hit for Hire Bobby Moore. So Kyle Matthews has the challenge, has to get through this man.
And his opponent, he is from Marietta, Georgia, weighing in at 180 pounds, Kyle Matthews.
Kyle Matthews twice voted best technical wrestler in the state of Georgia for the last 2 years, and this past year voted best wrestler of the year for Georgia. So this young man's come a long way. Every time he gets in the ring, he gives 110% as taught to him by his trainer, the late, great Ted Allen, the Nightmare. Bella sounded, and we got a great matchup. Here's our feature match on Rampage Pro Wrestling this week. Glad you joined us.
Well, for a goodly bit of the time Kyle Matthews is here, at least than I've been in Rampage Pro Wrestling, which is quite a period of time at this point. Kyle Matthews was preoccupied with Jimmy Rave, but Jimmy Rave now gone, and the Jimmy Rave approved team, as we saw last week, in disarray. Kyle Matthews changed his focus at the heavyweight title, the heavyweight champion, and that champion is Jeremy Vane. Jeremy Vane has been doing everything he can to avoid the challenge of Kyle Matthews, and now this stumbling block has been set up, the cash vault. The partners of Jeremy Vane are now the stumbling blocks in the way of Kyle Matthews. But if I know Kyle Matthews, he's willing to take on the biggest challenge possible to get the greatest prize in Rampage Pro Wrestling.
Certainly anything worth having is worth earning and fighting for. And that's something Kyle Matthews certainly has driven into his mind, into his heart. He wants that title in a bad way, and he wants to earn it. So I don't think he minds at all fighting for it. And now it's locked up, collar and elbow, and Matthews pulled to the corner.
Whoa, swing and a miss right there, but not so much right there as Matthews lights him up.
Great uppercut there by Kyle Matthews.
Reminiscent of Dory Funk Jr. right there.
That's that front face lock, and hard chop that time delivers. And it's Bobby Moore on the floor. And it's Kyle Matthews in full charge of this match. So much at stake here for this young man. He wants to prove himself worthy of that title defense. So when he gets it, he will have earned it. And right now, Bobby Moore slowly get back into the ring. Very distracted by the fans. So that could be a
you know, the fans that come here to Rampage Pro Wrestling, you never know what's going to happen. Recently, we had an appearance right here, and I think you saw it as I did. We had the appearance of the Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff. We had the total package, Lex Luger. How much of that, if any, you're going to ever see on television? Maybe you'll see some on this show. Maybe you will already. Maybe you won't. But I know one thing. You never know what's going to happen when you come to live wrestling at Rampage Pro Wrestling and who's going to show up.
Absolutely. And that product, the Verb, the official energy drink for Rampage Pro Wrestling, is a great product. You need to try it out. And Nikita Koloff and Lex Luger, two great legends in pro wrestling.
Up and over right there goes Kyle Matthews to light up Bobby Moore again. Bobby Moore trying to get away, caught by the hair, thrown into the turnbuckle, goes for the second one. It's 2 down. He's going for the third. And will we make 4 the charm? Yep, we do.
And a chop by Matthews, and Bobby Moore goes down like a tree in the forest. Hooks the leg now, only a 1 count. Bobby Moore, a tough hombre. Remember, he is 1/2 of the RPW Tag Team Champions.
He is the man who won the title. There's no two ways about it. He's the man who got the pin. Rob Adonis was out on the floor at the time and was not even involved in the match, having been put through a table at the time. Ooh, and look right there, Bobby Moore hit for hire, the longest term member of the Cash Vault to date, and that's the reason why he's a dangerous man.
Absolutely, and that could have been a career-ending injury there when he threw the man backwards, head first into that turnbuckle. And this man certainly hit for hire. He's paid to hurt people, and Charlie Cash pays him well. He's done a good job for him as the longest-running member of the Cash Vault.
Well, but Kyle Matthews, you're going to have to do an awful lot of damage. Just like the television champion Frankie Valentine, this is a smaller man with a gigantic heart, and his fighting spirit has given him credibility all over the United States. One of the most recent accolades is he is one of the 8 athletes that's been invited to the next Super 8 competition, a competition that in the past has featured tremendous athletes like the phenomenal AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and numerous other stars, and it was a launching pad for quite a few careers, as it may well be in the continuing growth of the career of Kyle Matthews. No matter where you are in professional wrestling, more and more the name Kyle Matthews is turning up.
He is one guy that certainly has come a long, long way in a short period of time. And that Future Legends Award that he was mentioned for is something I think will fit him very fine.
Very much so, and you have to know that his mentor and his trainer is looking down and is very appreciative of what's going on and is in full support for his efforts to become Rampage Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Right now, Bobby Moore wants to stop that from happening. He wants to collect some more money from Charlie Cash by stopping him at the pass here. And of course, his good friend Jeremy Vane would appreciate it as well. Tossing Kyle Matthews out hard to the floor. And you hear that thud when he hits the floor. That's a concrete floor.
Very much so.
And Bobby Moore now going out of the ring, coming around. And of course, the referee wants the action back in the ring. Need to try to keep the action where it's supposed to be. On the floor now, hard punch there. You saw him have to shake the fist off there. Might have broke a knuckle.
It's one of the things we've talked about before. The greatest quantity of bones in the human body are in the hands, and it's one of the most vulnerable areas in the human body. We frequently forget that. You have a tendency to see punches thrown, particularly in television shows where it appears that nobody hurts anything, but every time you throw a punch, you risk damaging that hand.
And rams that back into that hard, stiff apron. And on the arena floor now, Bobby Cash continues his assault on Kyle Matthews.
That'd be Bobby Moore. I don't think Charlie. Well, then again, Charlie Cash is probably large enough to father a child of that size. I know. I think about it.
It could be. I don't want to think about that.
I don't really either.
And now it's Kyle Matthews shot off and caught with that bear hug. And that's a hold that in the old days won a lot of matches just by himself.
Well, and he's got it the way it used to be done back in the day.
Nikita Koloff, Ivan the Russian Bear Koloff was one of those.
Very much so, and that's the way it's done. You get the man off his feet. You take him up in the air, and then you suck the wind out of him. Not only do you make it hard for him to breathe, but you put tremendous pain on the lower back in the process. Once you've squeezed in, he can't expand those lungs to get a breath of air in, and that's one of the few ways that has been proven to be able to break the hold, is to hit both ears on the side and try to cause a little ringing, and it did work there, but Bobby Moore swinging a miss, but no miss right there by Kyle Matthews, who grabs him, throws him into the corner rope, picks him up.
Sunset flip, rolls him over. Good escape move there by Kyle Matthews into a Boston Crab now.
Softened the back up with the bear hug to go for that.
You talk about the bear hug. Thunderbolt Patterson had a different way of escaping the bear hug. You remember that? He would spin completely around and slid out.
That's right, yeah.
Didn't hold on to Thunderbolt. That Boston Crab will put a lot of pressure there to the lower back.
There's Bobby Moore, took several steps toward the middle of the ring, trying to keep Kyle Matthews away from the ropes and the safety therein. One of the big differences, of course, we've chronicled before between professional wrestling and MMA is the ability to break holds by getting to the ropes.
And he does have the ropes, and one good thing about a professional wrestler, if you know the wrestling ring, that's half the battle. You need to know where you are at all times, and sometimes it's hard to do. You get lost really easy in the middle of a match.
Bobby Moore berating the man, saying he tapped out, which is far from the truth, particularly when it's Kyle Matthews. Standing drop kick.
Beautifully executed drop kick. All the power he had went into that, you can tell. Both men are down. Kyle Matthews trying to get the momentum, and those fingers are the only things moving. And the fan support here for Kyle Matthews, certainly phenomenal athlete all on his own. Kyle now trying to get that energy, trying to get back up, refusing to give up, refusing to lay down.
Both back to a vertical blaze simultaneously, and it's on in the middle of the ring. Block punch there, but not the same going back twice in a row. It's Kyle Matthews. There's the third, and Bobby Moore rocking back into the ropes. Gets tossed. Reversal goes in Kyle Matthews. Swing and a miss there. Step up Inzaguri. Catches it, rocking Bobby Moore, who's got right there around. Swinging DDT. Takes him down, and Moore is down, and this could be it right here, Ben.
He's coming right here. So close. That swinging tornado DDT, awesome maneuver there. And now it's Matthews' high-risk move here, going up to the top turnbuckle.
Not sure what he has planned, but this is the high-risk territory, but that's the kind of opportunity this is. Crossbody. Roll through, though, by Bobby Moore. Hooks the leg.
Oh, Bobby Moore, smart there, rolls through it.
Can't deny the wrestling skills of Bobby Moore. Spear.
And that spear takes the breath right out of you.
Moore still trying to get his own second win.
Kyle Matthews, I'm afraid. No!
That momentary hesitation Bobby Moore had before going for the pin seemed to be the decider right there, but now Moore has had a running thrust kick that he's been doing for a while now that's been putting people down, and he's set up for it right now, and Kyle Matthews may not see it, but he did see it coming. Rolls through, catches it, kicks him hard, drink out of a straw.
Version of that Slurpee kick, and
no!
So close. Kyle Matthews coming so close to moving one step closer to getting that title match with Jeremy Vane. If he can defeat this man, his next challenge down the road would be against Rob Adonis.
Matthews trying to get his own second win, trying to pump himself up at this point. We're quite a few minutes into this match right now, and it's been a tough one from the beginning. Tough man is Bobby Moore, but he's just given him some time to recover, did Kyle Matthews, and that's what happens when you do.
And Bobby Moore put on the brakes there and caught him with that short forearm, cuts him off, rolls him up again, only a 2 count.
Back and forth, this match is gone, but then again, at stake, the opportunity Kyle Matthews has to go up to heavyweight title. The opposite side of that is Jeremy Vane ducking the opportunity of Kyle Matthews having that chance, and the Cash Vault doing the job they were appointed to do.
Certainly a huge test here for Kyle Matthews. No slouch here, and Bobby Moore, look at that beautiful drop kick, went way up there and caught him in the chest.
Elevation was tremendous, at least 9 to 10 feet up, that drop kick, and now he's up top. Hurricanrana off the top, takes him down, and now he's set up, goes into the corner, and there we go.
Slurpee drop kick, rolls him up, hooks the leg, 2, 3.
Every bit of that.
Kyle Matthews got him with some beautifully executed flying drop kicks.
And the winner of the match,
this man is something else. He's the man to watch in 2012, that's for sure. 1 down, 1 to go. Next step will be Rob Adonis whenever he gets that matchup, because he has to beat both men to get the title match. And speaking of the champion, here's Jeremy Vane.